In part of Exile Affliction, you'll cleanse the Viridian Wildwood of its affliction, earn valuable rewards, and learn the ancient ways of the Asmeri Wanderers. December expansion introduces the Affliction Challenge League, 3 new Wildwood Ascendancy classes, the return of the Ultimatum League, over 100 new Transfigure gems, and much more. Yeah, then it's just a matter of time until the Transfigure gems are gone, right? I mean... Affliction Challenge. In the Affliction League, you will encounter sacred wisps that beckon you to enter overgrown passageways that lead to the Viridian Wildwood. While Affliction has covered this forest with a foreboding darkness. You'll need to uncover the forest's miseries to put a stop to the source of affliction. But still, like, what is your goal in this affliction? Is it in one hand to discover, to spend your wisp, to actually just run around and just go in all the dark places, or it's like to get as many like different wisps to then go back and then choose your maps, basically? Like a bit of a question for me, but as you approach the darkness, your wisps burn away the affliction that shrouds the forest. Make sure you treat your tread carefully, because your wisps only have a limited amount of power before they run out and you are returned to Rayclast. Be warned, the darkness is full of cursed monsters that emerge to kill you. As you explore, you might see other types of wisps trapped inside the darkness. Follow trace and wisps by collecting them, and you may uncover many different secrets, such as new characters, shrines, boss battles, and new encounters. There are many rewards to earn for those brave enough to seek them. But might be just that these wisps of like checking the darkness is a different kind of wisp that actually the ones that you can collect for buffing your maps. And it's probably the wisps will stay for the entire map, so you can like, I don't think you can like save them up for, and then you're capped at some point. Control your challenge and reward. As you return from the Wildwood, any wisps you have saved from the affliction disperse into the environment and inhabit randomly chosen monsters, increasing their power and also their rewards. The different types of wisps have different effects, and sometimes more than one type will inhabit a single monster, making the fight even harder and even more rewarding. Normal wisps grant an item rarity bonus to inhibit monsters, wild wisps grant an item quantity bonus, and vivid wisps cause them to drop currency items. If the monster gets all 3 types, they'll drop more items for a higher rarity and a lot of currency. So the way I think, which is weird, because Primal, Wild, and Vivid, wasn't that like the names of the Seed of Harvest League? I'm pretty sure, the ones that you collected, right? I think it was exactly Primal, Wild, and Vivid. So we have like some kind of like Harvest Seed are now Harvest Wisps. I think you just load them up, you come out of the map, and then they work like, you know, like we ghosted monsters last league. When you get close to monsters, they jump over. So in the best way, let's say this is like the map, this is your starting point, here is like the boss, and you run a circle and then you encounter that you directly want to go to the boss to get all 3 wisps on, because if you have like a very minimum amount of like purple ones and they like infect other monsters and they're gone, you cannot triple infect the boss if the boss drops something like that. I guess this might be a thing where you can say like, okay, that's probably the way we're gonna play it. Wildwood Ascendancy classes. While exploring the Wildwood, you might find some of the last few Asmeri Wanderers who have managed to survive in the forest since it was cursed. Choose which of the Asmeri Wanderers that you will complete quests for to unlock one of the 3 new Ascendancy classes, which you can have in addition to your regular Ascendancy class. Up to 8 points for these classes are unlocked as you complete quests for the Asmeri. One of 3 new Ascendancy classes. Wasn't there like... Didn't he say like something like... Here are 3 out of 8 or something? Well, probably these are just the only 3, but still, it's like insane. So, Warden of the Magi. The Warden of Eves can teach you to become a Warden of the Magi, powerful class that takes advantage of wilderness knowledge. Wardens of the whatever can coat their weapons with tinctures, granting them special bonuses. For example, the Armorwood tincture always stuns enemies on full life, and the Oak Branch tincture is a great finisher for bosses, so I guess like Culling Strike. A Warden of the Magi has many other wilderness abilities, such as Barkskin, which causes bark to grow all over your body, increasing armor. As you take damage, the bark temporarily falls off, increasing your evasion. Yeah, so here we have like stun enemies and wither. Kill frenzy charges. That thing? Ah, okay. Just like a bait image to get you... Oh, wait, it is actually a JavaScript. Okay, never mind. Marked enemies cannot be blocked or suppressed. Rare and unique enemies within 120 meters have a minimap icon. Quantity or wisp thingies. Flask adjacent to applied tincture gain 3 charge when you hit an enemy with a weapon no more than once every second. Pretty good. Increased effect. So the small notes are all like quantity of vivids. Tinctures to equipped weapons. Tinctures applied to you have 75% increased effect per empty flask slot. Barkskin skill. So how many bark stacks can you have? Probably 10, right? If there's a 10% chance to avoid. But that's whatever. Defense from equipped body armor are doubled if it has no socket gems. So chaos. 50% all res if you have an equipped helmet with no socket gems. No, with no socketed gems. So it can have gems or at least like links and sockets, but just nothing in there. 25% increased maximum life if you have gloves without sockets, and 30% increased movement speed if you have boots without sockets. Like movement speed is always sick. But just like with no socketed gems, it doesn't mean like that it has to be Chaos heart, for example, to just have no socket. I think if you have a 6-link and there is just no gems in it, it should work. But movement speed is always sick. So the new ascendancy, Warlock of the Mists. The Breaker of Oath can teach you to become a Warlock of the Mists, a class specializing in the darker arts of Azmeri. One powerful ability you can choose is Bloodhunt, which lets you consume corpses to gain more damage and protection against monsters that share a creature type with the corpse. Breaker of Oath can sell you additional corpses of exotic types, and these can also be used powerful specters. The Warlock of Mist also gets access to many other abilities, including a trio of the new first skills. Yeah, it's like some of the stuff is like not like mine. Ravenous skill. Spells you cast yourself can add physical damage equal to 70% of 5% of life cost. That sounds like... What about the blood skills like Reap and Exsanguinate? Because they are physical dots basically, so that's kind of like surely something towards Reap. Because life instead of mana is always nice. Because reserve life instead of mana is not really good. Removes all mana, it's like blood magic. Removes all energy shield. Gain maximum life instead of maximum energy from equipped armor items. That is kinda sick. Because ES items have like a lot more ES than life. So imagine you have like a shield that has like 1500 ES. From equipped... This is like a thing. Equipped armor items. I think it's not basically an armor. It's like whatever type of body armor kind of thing. Whether it's like... So if you use like a Val Regalia with like 1500 ES, then you basically gain 1500 life. That's what it means. Which would be kind of insane. But you also get like, at level 100, you lose like 600 life. But yeah, if you stack like ES gear... But the problem with ES gear, and this is like a thing that many people like underestimate. These days, with the reworked defense systems and stuff, you know, armor, evasion, spell suppression, like all these kind of like defensive layers, the damage reduction overall, you know, like energy shield builds don't have that. That is like a problem because, for example, an instacker with really insane gear, they can have to like 15 to 20,000 energy shield, but they have no armor, they have no evasion, they have no damage avoidance whatsoever. They just have a massive energy shield pool. And I think in the modern PoE, it's more about damage reduction. For example, the last character that I've played in the last league was an armor stacker with like 8.8 million armor or something, with Berserk, with so many damage reductions overall that I could get away with just going CI, and what did I had, like 2,000 energy shield, and I could face tank the entire game because I had like 98 or 99% damage reduction against all armor types. You know, like 8.8 million armor against physical like melee hits is like insane. Then I had like double 90% max res. We had like this mini transcendence where a part of our armor gets applied to the elemental resistance. So I was like very tanky against like elemental hits, but also I was CI, so I was immune to chaos. So the goal was not like to reach high amounts of life or effective HP in that case. It was more like get as much damage reduction as possible, so even the meteor of an Uber Cyrus hits you for like 500 damage. You know, so if you're naked, if you just have like a 30,000 energy shield, you still probably get one shot of the meteor because you have no damage reduction, right? So that's like a bit different. Then we have this like these marks. I think they showcased quite a bunch of them, right? Cannon's mark is a single enemy, casting them to spawn multiple phantasmas. We've seen that in the video basically, so I'm not sure. Take 20% increased damage is insane. It's just a 20% flat more multiplier. But I think like the Warlock of Mist, I think this one is pretty cool. Like the bottom side here for like exsanguinate builds. But rest is like minion stuff, and I'm not like a minion player, so I think this one is gonna be the most interesting one for me. The Wildwood Primalist. The Primal Huntress can teach you to become a Wildwood Primalist. Unlike the other new Ascendancy class, the Primal Huntress lets you customize your tree using charms that have randomly generated skills from the regular Ascendancy classes. Charms that are attribute-aligned magic items that can have up to 2 random modifier items. Wildwood Primalists get access to other powerful abilities, such as a small extra backpack, or the ability to use war cries to cause corpses to drop extra loot. Then we have the 45 from Champion, then we have movement speed per frenzy from the Saboteur, and then we have the Inquisitor with Explodey. Oh, that's like the, not the Inquisitor, it's like, what's a Witch, basically, right? Oh, and Consecrated Ground, so it's, sorry, I should read the entire thing. Occultist, blah, 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 of the Inquisitor, so it's an Occultist and Inquisitor node. And that just makes me think, like, imagine you play a Slayer, you know, the charge stacker. You're stacking power charges as a Slayer. You get all the same amount of frenzy charges with a Badge of the Brotherhood. And thanks to the Masterful Form Keystone, you get the same amount of endurance charges you have as your frenzy charges. So all you do is scaling power charges and you get the equal amount of frenzy and endurance charges. But the thing is, Slayer gets like +1 max frenzy charge in his tree. But what if you get like an Occultist charm of the Assassin and you get double +1 max power charge? And then you have another one from the +1 max power charge of the what a Trickster is +1 or something. Like Ranger is +1 frenzy, you know, like if that works and you can find charms that have like, as I said, Assassin, Occultist with +1/+1, like +2 power charge charms. You know, it's like, it's insane, dude. As said, I think this is gonna be the ascendancy of what MBX wants to play. And increase character size. There is no talking about it anymore. And you have a backpack. You know what's weird? Read that. Equip a Wildwood rucksack. You know what the weird thing is? Rucksack is a German word, and it means backpack in English. Why do the English language uses German words? Ruck is like from Rücken, which means the back, and sack or rucksack, which is basically like a, you know, like, yeah, like a backpack. It's like, it's the same with like, people say like kindergarten, which is translated to children's garden, kind of like. Doesn't matter, but I don't understand why Englishmen use rucksack as a freaking English word. Why? Just say backpack, what the hell? Anyways, it's gonna be interesting. And then we have your war cries attempt to shake extra items from corpses. Your war cries open chest. So either way, What I think is a bit weird, this here should be somewhere here. You know, that you can say, hey, I want to either have the Might of the Beer, or, yeah, Might of the Beer, dude. The beer, and get 3 extra ascendancies, or, because if you use that, you can only pick 2 extra charms. That might be something if you have trash charms, but in the end of the day, if this node would be, like, connected to the top side, and this one to the bottom side, I can choose which of these 2 I want to have, you know? So, it's gonna be crazy, man. Oh, I'm looking so forward for that, dude. Valuable new rewards. The Affliction Challenge League has many different types of rewards. Monsters you fight throughout raid class can be affected by the Wisps you have brought back from Viridian Wildwood, dramatically increasing the quality and quantity of items they drop. As you progress through the league, you will earn Wildwood Ascendancy class and charms, corpses, and tinctures that it utilizes. The Mists hide many additional secret rewards that you will discover as you explore Path of Exile. Affliction also contains over 15 new unique items. It's always weird. Over 15. 15, or is it like 25? What is that? Pragmatism. Plus 12 level of stocked skill gems? Oh, it's like an Omega Empower. That's like an Omega Empower. I mean, early league, this might be sick. The Trickster's Smile. Wait, -2. So if I get a skill gem with Empower, I have profit, right? Yeah, I know. But if I put in an Empower, it gives like +4 or +5. It's a net -3, so it's +15. So in that case... So, the Trickster's Smile. Affects cold damage to reflect. Heck. It deals elemental damage to you. Their resistance to those elements becomes 0 for 4 seconds. So it's like Inquisitor stuff. But the problem is always like, when an enemy hit deals elemental damage to you, that means you need to get hit to trigger that. And the golden rule is never get hit. So this item is pointless if you min-max Path of Exile, right? The Untouched Soul. We have Rarity as the implicit, 40 maximum life for each empty red socket on any equipped item. Accuracy per green, okay. Max mana for empty blue, and all rest for each white. You know, the problem with those items is always, for me at least, you lose an amulet slot for that. And you know what I mean? There's like, amulet is like a very strong power or source of power with plus levels, crit multi, all the good shit, you know? And I don't think if you like scuff down your character to use as minimum amount of sockets, because it's empty blue socket. I mean, for mana stacking might be nice, you know, if you have like 25 freaking or 24 blue sockets, but in the end of the day, if you don't have gems, I don't know, man. It's like weird. As I said, this requires you to get hit, and I don't want to get hit, so... The return of Ultimatum. Ultimatum is finally going core. The Trial Master has returned and will offer you a choice to undertake a deadly Wild Trial in exchange for great rewards. If you defeat the trial, he offers you go double or nothing with you. To take the risk and go for an even better reward. Yeah, of course. Or do you lock in the winnings if you have already earned? We've done a full rebalance of Ultimatum and have added many new modifiers, Atlas paths, skills, keystones, and rewards, including both new and reworked uniques. The Tainted Catalyst applies a random quality type. Ring ML Bell to replace other quality types. And amount of quality. Applies a random quality type and amount of quality to a corrupted ring. If you want to get like 20 fertile catalysts on that, you can buy a couple hundred, because it could be fertile 20% quality in the first one, or it could be 7 prismatic on the second click. Is that like some hyper gambling right there? But I guess if you have like this insane double corrupted mage blood that we all have at the end of a league, right? Then it'd probably be worth it to just spend some of the Tainted Catalysts, I guess. And this is like for printing mirrors, basically. I think there was like a Mirror ultimatum where you could just like, they cost like 100 divines or so, and the Mirror was like 300-400, but you had the chance to fail. But people that were like unkillable basically in these ultimatums, they just could do Mirror services and get like a bunch of currency. Or just basically you have a good item and you just run those ultimatums and hope you don't destroy it, right? I mean, gamble, but it's cheaper. Ultimate quality gems, Labyrinth Helmet enchants, and unique threshold jewels have been combined into new skill system called Transfigure Gems. So, indeed, ultimate quality gems, lab enchants, and unique threshold jewels are gone. Which is good and bad at the same time. Alternate versions of existing skill gems that have different functionality and balance. There are over 100 of these. The Frostbomb of Instability, Detonate of Scavenging, Raise Some of Falling, Firestone of the Meteors, and many more. The Divine Font at the end of the Eternal Labyrinth has been changed to a gem crafting device that can create transfigured gems. Add quality or experience to gems. Sacrifice a gem for one or more treasure keys. Exchange support gems for exceptional support gems like Empower or Enlighten, and so on. If that's guaranteed, then Empower, Enlighten, and so on will be super cheap this league. Okay, Frozen Legion of Rallying. I don't care. I never played this skill. Volcanic Fissure of Snaking. 3 additional times, I guess. Light Storm, Raise Zombie, Flame Dash of Return. Reverse Direction when reading. Okay. The thing is, like, yeah, you probably wonder now why I'm going over for them so fast, but the thing is, when I never played this skill, I don't really know what the normal version is doing, so I don't know what has changed, right? Like, for example, Frozen Legion, I've never played this skill. Wait, your statues will use the skill for you. I don't know, man. So, Blight of Contagions we've seen, right? Which means, that Contagion will go over take over the Blight thing, but there's one problem. To read this, debuff can have up to 5 layers of damage. It's a bit weird, because we know or we've seen that now Contagion can transfer that Blight, but the problem is Blight is a very low skill effect duration. So it's not like Essence Drain that lasts for like 7-8 seconds and you just like endlessly spread it. You know, Blight will run out, will do a lot more damage, but it runs out quite fast, I guess. Those, okay, that we've seen. Detonate that, never played. Blade Trap, never played. Double Strike. Killing blows cause impulse on enemy to reflect damage to surrounding enemies. Yeah, but it's killing blows. Barrage of Volley Fire. Yeah, Volley Fire, I think, was the threshold jewel to Barrage. Where it has, like, some arc instead of, like, a singular line, basically. Blink Arrow of Bombarding Clones. Like, for the Bama build. Prismatic Clones. And Animate Weapons. Like, I don't play any of these skills. That's kind of sad. But I remember they showcased Arc. And the Arc one is the one that I'm actually interested in. And the new Core Supporter Pack. We're releasing our annual Core Supporter Pack alongside the release of Path of Exile Affliction. There are 5 packs available that each include their full value in points, includes armor sets and additional cosmetic microtransactions that visually interact with gameplay in new ways. The higher packs are included physical merchandise and a new opportunity to leave your mark on Path of Exile. Path of Exile Affliction will launch on December 8th, PC and Mac, and on December 13th for Xbox and Stayplation. But so there is no core supporter packs that we can check out right now.